UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia number 2, Adesanya versus Imavov. We are back with another prediction video. I was unsure if I even wanted to do this since the last one went kind of shitty, but fuck it. Fuck it. Okay. Opening up the main card, we have kind of a blobular opener in Hamdi Abdel-Wahab versus Jamal Pogues. I can't say I'm overly excited for this one, and I don't really care to talk about it very long because, I mean, just look at these guys. I'm sorry. And it's not just one of those, like, Andrew Ruiz type situations where they're secretly sick despite the looks. They're both kind of about as good as they look. But I'm going to be going with Jamal Pogues. Hamdi Abdel-Wahab has some knockout power, but basically no gas tank, and his grappling, I don't know. I mean, I think he might have a bit of an advantage there, but Jamal Pogues was able to stuff the grappling attempts from Thomas Peterson and light him up on the feet. Between the two guys, Jamal Pogues doesn't hit as hard as Hamdi, but he does have quicker hands and sharper strikes, so I think he'll probably just be able to light him up and take this to a very boring, shitty, grody decision that's going to be kind of a chore to watch. Anyway, let's go. Next one. This one should be good. So we got Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. Bogdan Grad coming off a win on Dana White's Contender Series. And then Lucas Alexander, who's coming off of, I think he's had 3 fights in the UFC. He had 1 win where he looked pretty good, but then besides that, he's been both submitted and knocked out in the first round. So this one is also a pick'em, and I guess that's fair, but I kind of, from the tape I've seen, I think Bogdan Grad's got a little more going for him. He's quick, he's got power on the feet, he has very nice slick grappling, has a few submissions on his record. I just think he's overall more well-rounded than Lucas Alexander. Lucas is very slick and technical on the feet, and he's not a slouch anywhere, really, but I just think Bogdan Grad's more impressive on the ground. And also, it's worth noting that Lucas Alexander is good on the feet when he's able to keep his distance, whereas Bogdan Grad, from what I've seen, is very good at closing said distance and applying pressure. And he has some rocks for fists. So I'm going to go Bogdan Grad. I think he can probably finish Lucas Alexander based on what we've seen from him in the UFC so far. All right. Next one. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Buena Silva. This one's tough. It doesn't even have odds posted. I've seen people go back and forth on this one, and You would want to pick Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's coming off of 3 wins. She's a little bit bigger than Mayra Buena Silva, actually, despite the fact that Silva's coming down from bantamweight. This is her first fight at flyweight. It's worth mentioning that Silva's fought better competition, but Jasmine Jasudavicius is riding a little more momentum. I'm gonna be honest, this is one that, before recording, this is like the only fight where I wasn't sure what I was gonna go with. It's been kind of a toss-up. I think Jasudavicius is really dangerous on the ground, but she's kind of useless on the feet. Mayra Buena Silva is dangerous on the feet. I don't know if the grappling is gonna be able to contend with Jasudavicius. Fuck it, I'm going Mayra Buena Silva, winning this by a decision. I'm picking the underdog on this one. It's not listed, but I'm pretty sure she's the underdog. Okay, this one, we got Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. Now, Terrence McKinney is the definition of a glass cannon. He is the glass cannoniest UFC fighter in history. He is either starching people and sending their skulls flying off their shoulders, or he is having his skull sent flying off of his shoulder. It really just depends on how dangerous the person is that he's fighting. So yeah, basically this is how every Terrence McKinney fight goes. For the most part, there are a couple exceptions, but it's either Terrence McKinney starching someone in the first round rather, or him getting starched. And I don't know that Damir Hadzovic is the type of guy that's going to starch Terrence McKinney. You know, the people who have done so are like Esteban Ribovics most recently, Drew Dober, like people with actual power in their hands. And Damir Hadzovic has like no KOs on his record really at all. And he's 38 years old, hasn't fought in a while. So I'm going to go Terrence McKinney to get this one done by KO and get back in the win column, at least for now. Okay. Got this slightly higher level blobular heavyweight fight. We got Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here and saying that most people are picking Shamil Gaziev. He kind of, not even kind of, he straight up got fraud checked by Rosenstrike, but he is decent. He had that one really good win over Martin Budai where he had, for some reason, a freakishly good gas tank and was lighting him up on the feet and then finished him. And then had the Rosenstrike fight where he kind of got whooped a little bit and then comes back against, oh my god, what's his name? Dontel Mays. A very fat, out of shape looking Dontel Mays, and has kind of a ugly decision win against him. It was very hard to watch. Both guys looked very tired pretty much the entire time. But so yeah, I don't think that Shamil Gaziev is gonna walk through Thomas Peterson, despite how unimpressive the guy looks. Peterson's got some nice footwork, some decent striking, good grappling. I think it'll be a bit of a stalemate fight with Shamil just landing a few more takedowns and being able to lay on top of him and maybe starch him with a couple punches on the feet. I don't think it's going to be dominant. I really don't rate Gaziev that high, but I do think he's probably going to win a pretty grindy decision against Thomas Peterson. It's going to be very ugly and hard to watch, but yeah, I got Gaziev. We got Muhammad Naimov versus, I was about to say Ultimate Fighter winner. He wasn't even the winner. Khan Ofli. He actually got knocked out in the tough finale rather. And Naimov coming off of the loss against Felipe Lima, which, given how good Lima's been looking since then, I don't think, no harm, no foul for me. I think that's fine. So this one, yeah, I'm gonna go Muhammad Naimov. I think he's bigger, he's more dynamic on the feet, he's got more experience in the octagon. Ofli's coming off of a KO loss. Naimov has KO power. To be honest, it's kind of rough coming off of Ultimate Fighter and then getting Naimov in your debut. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna go Naimov. I don't have much to say about that one. Okay, so next we got Fares Siam versus Mike Davis. People seem to be a bit split on this one. Davis is the slight favorite. Fares Siam's coming off of the KO win over Matt Frivola, and a lot of people are picking him as kind of one of the underdogs to watch out for on the card. He is riding some momentum. I'm going to be boring, though, and go with the favorite in Mike Davis. He doesn't fight that often, but he is just always really fucking good everywhere. He's excellent in the grappling, has really good trips and transitions, but he's also good on the feet. Like, he stays out the way of danger, he has pop in his hands, and they've beat similar levels of competition, I'd say. I want to say Mike Davis's best win is Vyacheslav Borshev, I forget how to say the guy's last name, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mike Davis is one of those guys that just shows up occasionally and it doesn't matter how long he's been gone, he's just always solid. And Fares Siam has a lot of momentum right now, but he's not exactly, I know he knocked out Matt Frivola, but I think a lot of the buzz around that was because he's from France or lives in France, and he had the French crowd behind him. That was a Paris card. Because to be honest, Matt Frivola was kind of fighting like dog shit in that fight and swinging for the fences, just winging overhands. And it took Siam a while to put him away. Like, it was a nice KO, but it really, given how Matt Frivola was fighting, he should have done that a little quicker, in my opinion. And then he had that really close fight against Claudio Puelles, which was not very good. That was at altitude. That is worth mentioning. That was in Mexico City. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be boring and go with Mike Davis to halt the hype train on this one. Sorry, Fares Siam. Sorry, bro. I gotta do it. Okay, now this one's fucking tough, man. I don't know. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. That's how you know it's a really good matchup, when I'm like, who the fuck wins this one? Oliveira's coming off of the win over Ricky Simone. Before that, knocking out Bernardo Sapai. I think those are his 2 fights in the UFC. And then Said Nurmagomedov coming off of a bounce-back win over Muin Gafurov. Before that, he lost a decision to Jonathan Martinez. This one's pretty neck and neck, man. Whatever I pick, I'm not going to be confident. Nurmagomedov is primarily a striker, but he does have the grappling in his back pocket. He actually submitted Muin Gafurov, and he's from Dagestan, so he has that element. He doesn't often use it. Sapai was able to kind of get the better of the grappling exchanges against Vinicius Oliveira. I'm going to go Said Nurmagomedov. Not very confidently. This is not a fight to bet on, in my opinion. Not with the kind of pop in his hands that Oliveira has. I think this is going to be a really sick fight. Okay, but yeah, Said Nurmagomedov. Now this one, Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. It's kind of surprising these guys haven't fought yet, given how shallow heavyweight is right now. I'm kind of shocked they haven't fought. But Jairzinho Rozenstruik has been having some momentum recently. He came off of a split decision, apparently, win over Tai Tuivasa. And before that, I should be looking this up. Oh yeah, I was just talking about this, the Gazia fight. Those were 2 bounce back wins after getting submitted by Gelton Almeida, which who doesn't, you know, so that's not a huge deal. Rozenstruik for the longest time has kind of been the punching bag of this division. It's like, when he first came in the UFC, he was this scary knockout artist, taking out everyone, but then it's like every single decent striker, anyone with power in their hands, just anyone who's anyone in this division has beaten Rozenstruik pretty much. And I don't really think, despite the momentum he has right now, I don't think he's going to be able to do the same thing to Pavlovich. Pavlovich coming off of 2 losses, KO loss to Tom Aspinall, and decision loss to Volkov. Basically, the way this goes is if Rozenstruik is, I think, a more technical striker, and he could beat Pavlovich by a decision, I guess, but he doesn't have the same dimensions against Pavlovich that Volkov did that led him to be able to, like, skirt on the outside and, you know, throw kicks and jabs and stay out the way of Pavlovich's freakish power. I just don't think that Rozenstruik is going to be able to do that to him. Sergey Pavlovich by KO in the first round, probably. Okay. Now we got Shara Magomedov versus MVP Michael Venom Page. This fight's kind of strange to me. I don't really know why it's happening. I don't know why we're not giving Magomedov a ranked middleweight fight. I guess they just know that there are too many grapplers in there. They're going to fuck him up. I don't know. So we're giving him number 15 ranked Michael Page. He's not ranked anymore, apparently. Why does this keep happening? They keep changing rankings before fights. He was ranked number 15 when I checked a couple days ago, I swear to God. Anyway, yeah, so he's going to be fighting Sharon Magomedov up at middleweight. He's not a very big welterweight, so I don't know why. This is a strange matchup, but stylistically, I guess it should be fun. Yeah, I'm going MVP, man. I just think his striking is so odd, and he's too quick that it might run the risk of being kind of a boring fight if they're, you know, if they're doing the whole snake charm routine where MVP's just got him a little bit perplexed and Char's trying to get some stuff going, and then MVP's moving out the way, and because of his bladed stance, they're not really fighting in the pocket that much. This might be kind of a dud. But yeah, I'm going to go MVP to frustrate Magomedov and basically do what he did to Kevin Holland. I would say that, you know, because he was frustrating Ian Gary. Ian Gary couldn't do shit on the feet, but Ian Gary was able to grapple fuck him to a decision pretty much. Sharon Magomedov does not have any grappling, so I don't think he's going to be able to really do anything to MVP. I don't know. Anyway, what the fuck? He is ranked number 15 still. And he's okay, so he's ranked number 14 in middleweight. For some reason, when you click on it, it goes away. That's so strange. Okay, anyway. Main event, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. Yeah, I think Izzy's going to get a bounce back win on this one. He said he's going for a vintage performance or something to that effect against Imavov, and I swear to God, if he gets a title shot right off the back of this, I'm going to be upset. I don't want that. I want Izzy to build like a 3-fight win streak before we start talking about that again. But anyway, Imavov is coming off of a win over Brendan Allen. Before that, Roman Dolidze. Yeah, not... Oh, sorry. Jared Cannonier as well. That was kind of a weird one, but yeah, I don't know. Imavov is good. He's looked solid, but I just think I can't see him doing anything to Izzy that Izzy hasn't seen before. I think Izzy's going to be able to stuff whatever takedowns he throws his way and light him up on the feet. If he wants to go for a vintage Izzy, or even a boring leg kicking Izzy would be Imavov, but I think Izzy's going to have a certain chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to prove to the fans he's still got it, so I think he's probably going to catch Imavov with something. Oh, hold on, let's relax. I don't know if he's going to knock Imavov out. I'm winging this shit, man. I don't know. I'm going to say Izzy. You know what? You know what? Fuck it. Izzy by KO. 4th round. Izzy by 4th round KO. This is based on nothing. I'm just fucking guessing. I'm basically saying what I want to see happen. Izzy, please turn back the clock. Please. No leg kicks. No boring shit. Starch the guy, please. Your career needs this. Anyway, those are my predictions for Fight Night. Izzy versus Imavov. I would like to update the format of this as we go on. I'm going to make my own graphics and everything. And, I mean, try and match the editing of my other style of content as opposed to me just screen grabbing the UFC website. But anyway, I just wanted to get these out there, and I will see you guys in the next one.